Russia accused of rare deadly daytime attack on Ukraine. Ukrainian officials accused Russia on July 8 of launching a barrage of missiles at Kyiv and other Ukrainian cities in a rare and deadly daytime assault, according to Reuters. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky claimed that Russian forces fired more than 40 missiles at least 5 major civilian centers, including hitting the Okhmatdyt Children's Hospital in the capital city of Kyiv on the morning of July 8, local time, killing at least 2 people and injuring 16 others. Kyiv Mayor Vitali Klitschko stated that the attack on the capital was one of the heaviest assaults since Russia began its military campaign in Ukraine on February 24, 2022. In Kryviy Rih, Zelensky's hometown, 10 people were killed and 31 injured, according to Mayor Oleksandr Vilkul. Additionally, officials in Donetsk province reported that 3 more people were killed in the eastern city of Pokrovsk when missiles struck an industrial facility. The Security Service of Ukraine identified the missiles fired at Kyiv as Kh-101 cruise missiles. Reuters reported that at least 21 people were killed and 65 injured in the Kyiv strike. Zelensky promised retaliatory measures and urged a strong Western response to the attack. He noted that the number of people trapped in the rubble of the children's hospital was still unknown. At the time of the attack, Zelensky was on a visit to Poland, where he began a press conference in Warsaw with a minute of silence for the victims. He accused Moscow of deliberately targeting a children's hospital, asserting that Russia could not be unaware of where its missiles were hitting and must bear full responsibility for its crimes. Meanwhile, Russia's TASS news agency cited a statement from the Russian Defense Ministry denying the accusations from Kyiv. Russia claimed it had no involvement in the attack on the Okhmatdyt Children's Hospital. The Russian military confirmed it had launched a series of long-range missiles on July 8, but stated the targets were military factories and airfields in Ukraine. The claims by Ukrainian officials that Russia deliberately attacked civilian targets in Kyiv on July 8 are completely false. Russia Today, RT, quoted the Russian Defense Ministry as saying. The statement added, numerous images and videos from Kyiv demonstrate that the damage was caused by a Ukrainian anti-aircraft missile launched from within the city. Russia is believed to have used air-launched Kinzhal missiles in the attack. Senior Ukrainian officials asserted that these weapons are easily intercepted by the Patriot missile system. Last week, Colonel Sergei Yeryomenko, commander of Ukraine's 69th Air Defense Brigade, stated that since May 2023, no Kinzhal missile had breached the American-made defense shield. Russia has also claimed that Kyiv has exaggerated its interception success rate. According to Russian military officials, Ukraine has declared that it shot down more Kinzhal missiles than Russia actually deployed. Regarding the July 8 attack, President Zelensky pledged that Ukraine would retaliate and called on Western allies to issue a firm response. In a statement released by the White House on July 8, U.S. time, President Joe Biden condemned Russia's assault. He also announced that Washington and NATO allies would unveil new measures to bolster Ukraine's air defense capabilities this week. Russia and Ukraine clash at the UN over missile strike on Kyiv Children's Hospital. The Ukrainian representative accused Moscow of deliberately targeting the vulnerable, while the Russian ambassador denied the claims, asserting the missile was launched by Kyiv's air defense. The United Nations Security Council held an emergency meeting on July 9 to address the missile strike on the Okhmatdyt Children's Hospital in Kyiv the previous day, following Ukraine's request. Ukrainian authorities reported that the incident resulted in 2 deaths and 32 injuries. Ukraine's ambassador to the UN, Sergei Kyslytsya, accused Russia of deliberately targeting the vulnerable and defenseless. Kyslytsya presented evidence to Security Council members, showing what Ukraine claims to be a Russian cruise missile aimed at the Okhmatdyt hospital, including photos of some debris. These images, released by the Security Service of Ukraine, SBU, a few hours earlier, purportedly show fragments of a Kh-101 cruise missile engine. The SBU stated that an analysis of the damage and the missile's trajectory indicated a direct hit on the hospital. The missile strike on the hospital occurred on a day when Russia launched nearly 40 missiles targeting multiple Ukrainian cities. We have repeatedly stated that Russia does not attack civilian targets in Ukraine. Our strikes are aimed at military-industrial facilities and Ukrainian airbases, one of the targets in Kyiv being the Artem plant, a major producer of aircraft missiles, weapons, and ammunition, said Russia's UN ambassador Vasily Nebenzia. Since the plant is about 2 kilometers from the Okhmatdyt Children's Hospital, there is every reason to believe that what hit the hospital was a Ukrainian air defense missile intended to intercept a Russian missile heading for the plant. If this were indeed a Russian attack, the building would have been flattened. Everyone, including children and adults, would have been killed, not just injured, Nebenzia stated. We regret that the Security Council has been drawn into Kyiv's dirty media campaign. Nebenzia pointed out that the incident occurred right before the NATO summit. According to him, similar situations have happened before previous NATO summits since the Russia-Ukraine conflict began. U.S. Ambassador to the UN Linda Thomas-Greenfield expressed her chilling feelings and asserted that Russia must be held accountable. British Ambassador Barbara Woodward labeled the attacks as cowardly and despicable acts, while French Representative Nicolas de Rivière accused Russia of deliberately targeting residential areas and medical facilities. Meanwhile, Chinese ambassador to the UN Zhang Jun urged Russia and Ukraine to show political will, compromise, and start peace negotiations soon. He affirmed China will continue to actively promote these negotiations.